Good morning, gents and lady gents. This is Alloy here, and today I'm going to try something different. There are a couple of topics that I thought were interesting, or something noteworthy that I'm sure many people would eventually get into, and I like interesting to talk about because I think it's important. Without further ado, let's get to it. It starts off. I can't see myself ever wanting children. It seems morally questionable to force the burden of existence onto another human for the sake of something selfish like my own happiness. I have nothing against children, but I don't want to be financially, physically, and mentally responsible for them either. Am I really expected to spend the first 20-ish years of my life in school, the next decade or so building my career, then another 20 years starting a family and taking care of kids? Now, firstly, it doesn't have to be every person's life, but I think this goes back to the past generation. The past generation, that's what was considered normal. You start off your early years in school, you spend the next half building your career, learning more stuff, and then you spend the 30s and 40s raising kids. The past generation, that was their thing. So, of course, they would teach their kids the exact same method because that's how they went through life when they were kids. That's not to say that the method works all the time, but the past generation, that was their thing. Continuing on, I would definitely not trust strangers or even relatives to take care of my children. It would be nice if adulthood awarded you for your efforts instead of being an extended period of delayed autonomy. I think a lot of people will experience that, especially if they have no idea what they want to do after high school. Because after a long time of going to school, just doing classes and spending time on YouTube or something, and then you are immediately thrust with the question, what are you going to do for the next 10 years that will benefit your life? Yeah, I reckon if you'd only focus on school and all that jazz, you would have no idea what the answer is. So if you see yourself in the next 10 years, it would seem as though, damn, what the heck's in it for me? I don't know about the trusting strangers part. This guy probably have to explain it better. The capitalists planned this epidemic of working-class familial imprisonment for centuries. Honestly, I need to work to feel productive, and I would get so depressed if I were productive. Whoa. I would get so depressed if I were to be delegated to a housewife, house husband role for 18 plus years unless I really, really loved my partner. That's just preference. If you feel as though you'd be more productive doing either role, society's not going to screw you over. Yeah, there's going to be some moron that will say, hey, you should go back to work. You should do this. You should do that. Because doing all that house stuff, you're a slave. Yeah, there's always going to be those morons that exist. What matters is what you and your partner think is good. If this guy doesn't feel like, being a house person is good for him, then that's fine. That's just preference. Everyone has those. My parents low-key hate each other. I would not have the willpower to continue living with someone I couldn't stand for someone like family. I think my parents mostly had children because they were expected to buy their family. Makes sense. And it was too difficult for them to balance work and life. Also makes sense. My parents didn't exactly neglect me during my childhood, but they never expressed much interest in my life, so I reciprocated this attitude. I'm grateful for what they've done to me, but I don't know who they are, if that makes sense. Kids usually represent the nonsense that their parents give them. And it could be anything. So take a neglected person, which I'm assuming to be this guy, and he says it. He reciprocated this neglectance towards his parents because that's how they treated him. He said it wasn't exactly that, but it felt as though he became invisible by the time important decisions mattered. That's my guess. Anyways, Relationships make me feel like I don't have enough time for myself, and I'm pretty uninterested in getting any more until my mid to late 20s. Fair. Maybe my mind would change when I fall in love again, though. Yeah, I imagine it would. I'm not even on the age yet, but I imagine if you're so concerned about not doing anything while also hoping to, well, you're not hoping, but you're considering finding the love of your life. I think finding that balance is extremely important. Not a matter of how, it's a matter of when. Because until you do find that person of interest, you gotta make sure you have everything stocked up. If you don't have anything stocked up, you'll repeat the same things that your parents did to you. And that wouldn't be fun. And also, key note before I send this off, if you don't want to have a kid, don't have a kid. Get get this weird notion that you must have a kid in order to fulfill life. Get that out of there. Kick it out. Get a scrubber, get some water, get something to wipe that out. Because one, it's not everything, and two, we live in a capitalist country. As he said, that mindset has corroded people, especially him, in a way, because every time he thinks of kids, he thinks of money. And obviously, I don't think he has the money to pay for kids, which is why he doesn't want it. Not to mention, I mean, if you ask this guy, does he know how to raise kids, he probably has no idea. One of the big issues that I've seen is people are just having kids just to have them. When it comes time to raise them and to be good people for society, it seems like an impossible task, like a wall you can't just climb up. But you're gonna take the task anyway because it's fun, apparently. It's not all situations because sometimes it's accidental, other times it's not, and other times, and sometimes, life just gets retarded. And what seemed to be easy suddenly becomes impossible, or at the very least very hard. That's my input on this. I want to know what you guys think. Am I crazy? Do I need 10 years of pure age to understand this? Or did I nail it on the head? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys on the flip side.